Jabrones, it's daytime now. I had to go somewhere like 6 a.m. this morning to meet somebody. Come back to the office, made a little video for y'all earlier, and then I went back on another job walk. Okay, this job walk I went on went really well. This is a new customer, and this video is going to be about going for the big prize. Okay, this is this is a new customer I got. This is a referral based off of the medical build out work I do. Okay, I do work in a lot of big professional buildings that are related to medical. It's not the hospitals; it's the buildings surrounding hospitals, and we're specialists work at like in like medical district areas. Um, Tons and tons of buildings that I work in, and I got based off some work I did in one of those buildings. I got referred to another investment company, which I don't really understand the big money side of this yet. So I don't really understand this investment. I don't know. But anyway, I did some service calls for this customer and I was, very affordable just because it was like I was trying to kind of get in the door. Like, not very affordable. The first one was like 600 and the second one was like $1,800. But then yesterday they had me look at a job for them and I had one of my top guys out there. It's a very expensive guy. He was like out there for like 3 hours. I didn't charge him a penny, just kind of looking into something to send him a quote to do another little service job. It's not even gonna be that much money. And then they had me go do it. They wanted to meet me for a job walk they sent me a set of plans because they do a lot of these build out offices and the work I was doing is kind of like, I guess, warranty or service work for previous offices that they've done in buildings I've worked in. So I meet him at this office today. It's on the 11th floor of this building in Dallas, and it's fucking sweet, nice. It's a law firm, and it's a small little job, just like demoing like 4 or 5 sinks, and then putting them back once countertops are done. So easy peasy. But then they give me the corridor restrooms on this building. They're like, hey, also we need you to price this. It's replacing all the fixtures in the corridor restrooms, just pulling them out, putting new ones in, and adding a shower in there, which is a little more difficult. But it's going to end up being a pretty expensive job because I'll have like 12, 15 grand in fixtures. So, like, just that alone, I'll, make sure to gross like 6, 7 grand, 4 or 5 grand off the fixtures alone. So that's a good job. Then they gave me another job on that same building on the 8th floor, which is like for some sort of medical lab, and it's just like adding one sink and demoing another sink, and like 9 grand. But right after that, that's when I started to figure out these guys are actually pretty big, serious players. They gave me another damn job in Fort Worth that I'm going to do the job walk for on Friday at 10 o'clock. And this one's real. Like they talked to me about it like about an hour ago. Like I already got the job. I haven't even given them a price yet. Turns out it's about 63K. It's kind of a small clinic, but there is a decent amount of fixtures. So I'm at 63,000. 63,115 is my price. And this customer just came out of nowhere. Okay. So like I should get all this work. If I get all three of these jobs, I'll end up having it'll be like 70, 80 grand in work on probably $38,000 cost of goods sold or less, probably less than that. So we're gonna have them double our money off a customer we got from referral. All we did is just be at the right place at the right time, take advantage of opportunities that pop up, right? And so this is what leads to my philosophy of going for the big prize, right? If you're like a home services guy, if you have that mentality, you ultimately, in my opinion, end up walking over dollars to pick up dimes. Like you really do. Say like I told you, I had a technician out at this guy's office for 3 hours the other day, investigating some leak like from some other plumbers that fucked up, and there's a whole backstory I'm not gonna get into, but we didn't charge a penny for that because I'm just trying to show these people, hey, like if I would have said, hey, I spent 3 hours on this, my guy was looking around, I had to haul a ladder up and down, we had to get to the 6th floor and blah blah, and charged him $1,200, which I probably could have got away with, that may be the last time I deal with that customer, right? But instead, I was just like playing ball, understanding that I'm trying to get your business long term, and I didn't even realize how much it was because these people have. I don't want to like reveal the names, but they do the build outs for a certain company that like it has I don't really know this company that well, but I've heard of them, and there's a shitload of offices, and they're doing a lot of work. So this is a huge lead, and we've already got a lot of work off of it, and it's probably going to turn into good work. And again, we're funneling them to the big stuff. We're not like gonna nickel and dime and be like real picky every single time we go out there to try to like if there's something small, we don't do any work, even though it does take a lot of time. I'm kind of willing to eat that if the relationship is a fruitful one, right? Like if you're just a piece of shit that's always taking my time up, I'm not gonna keep doing it, right? And I understand with residential, these people, their interest is to call you just that one time, so you're trying to maximize the amount of money you can get because they don't want to call you back. Their goal is to call a plumber as little as possible. Well, that mentality, I think, of trying to like squeeze all the juice out of the lemon, it really does cause you to walk over dollars to pick up dimes because I can easily have technicians out doing 20,000 in revenue a week, without even working 40 hours on a 50% gross with no marketing. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Just funnel to the big prize. Like make your and let me again address the home services side. In actuality, the main goal of service plumbing, and I'm not talking construction, service plumbing, the main goal is to get that average ticket up, right? Like you hear Jared Williams types, $1 Million Plumber types, all these guys saying you got to find a way to get that average ticket over $1,000, which means you want to do bigger jobs, right? Because if you just look at any plumber's price book, even at Jared Williams, you're going to see that like that average item on that price book, it doesn't average to $1,000. It probably averages to like 650 or something. So you're hoping people buy more and bigger items. Well, what I do with like the remodel kind of special projects type work is it's the best of both worlds. It's only high volume. It's only large scale. Like my average ticket's probably like $8,000 on my service shit. I don't know about that much. It's probably like 4 or 5 grand because it's just everything funnels towards the big shit. I'm trying to wholesale it because I want the projects. I'm not interested in like little ticky tacky. I don't want to go changing fucking flappers all day and fill valves. I want to be doing that sometimes for customers that are ultimately buying $1 million a year in plumbing, and I want that whole fucking million. And the way you get it is by not being ticky tacky on the small shit and keeping your eyes on the fucking big prize. And at the end of the month, what I gross, there may be days where I have a fucking guy somewhere, for 6 hours for, $98 trip charge, right? But that'll turn into, a $13,000 job next week. You know what I mean? And that technician will do 80,000 in a month on a really high gross. So eyes on the prize. 7 minutes, 30 seconds. I'm supposed to make these longer than 8 minutes to get more ad money, but I got a job, boys. I don't care.